Welcome everyone to Autogefühl, and you have asked us, can you please get a BMW i3, because that's at the moment one of the most interesting cars. And yes, we can fulfill your wishes. We got one now, and Thomas, my colleague, will now today explain you about the exterior and the interior. So let's go with the BMW i3, new electric car from BMW.
Yes, hello everybody, here we are. BMW i3, and you can of course recognize that it's the BMW due to this famous BMW kidney grille. Already here, interesting, the hood, normally the bonnet for the engine, but there's no engine underneath it, I can assure you, is in black, so a contrasting color to the normal body color here, which is a nice touch, I think. Coming around the corner, very noticeable are these 19-inch wheels, very high wheels with nice light alloy rims, but the tires are very narrow, and you can see that from the front. And they have to be narrow because then for an electric car it's important that the roll resistance of the tires is not very high. So this is deliberately done. It looks a little bit strange at first, but you will get accustomed over the time. Okay, if we go around, I mean, it's not really a pretty car, but it's different. It's very different and very unique, and which is very important that it is unique. It's not really beautiful, but it's interesting. Just watch this curve here, sloping down to the rear door and then rising up again to the C and D pillar here. And then of course we come to the door opening mechanism, which is also unique. You open the front door, and then the rear door is the so-called suicide doors. So it opens in the reverse direction. So you see there is no B pillar here, and it's a very nice way to enter the car. And what is also important to note is that the seat belt for the driver is not on the seat, but it's here on the rear door. And the reason for that is that the designers wanted to make the seats as slim as possible. And you can see it's a very light looking slim seat, not bulky, not massive, very nice. But if you would have to put a seating belt here, if you had to put a seating belt here, it would be much more massive. And just look at this beautiful cloth and leather combination here. It's naturally tanned leather, and then this, and then the woolen carpets from wool. It's like in the living room, it's not in a motor car. So we close that again. Coming to the rear of the car, what I really love here is the integration of the lights cluster into this black panel. It looks very, very modern, very not in any other car, I can see that. And then we open the trunk. Of course, it's not a huge trunk, we have to say. It's also a very high loading line here, so if you have to lift something into that compartment, it's a bit of a, you need a bit of a muscle. But of course, underneath here is the battery, and somewhere, I don't know exactly where, the little 2-cylinder motorbike engine that helps you to stretch the driving range. I think that's probably the best they could achieve in this package. So, close it again. And also here we have these contrasting black pieces with the body color. Here black body color, black body color. As I say, it's very different, and people on the road, I mean, if you drive with that car, they turn heads like you were driving a Ferrari or an Aston Martin or something like this. So on the passenger side of the car, you can see there are two different openings, but only one is for fuel, and this is this one here in the front. This is for the 9-liter fuel tank, petrol. conventional. And coming to the back, you have the two sockets here for quick charging and for standard charging. So here it's a bit tricky. You have first to put on the lower one and then the upper one, and it fits. So we are now wondering what's underneath this bonnet. It's not a little engine, but it's just here for the water, for the windscreen wiper. And then here you have the charging equipment and other little things. So there's not much space here. It's virtually only for the driving, for the charging infrastructure of the car.